magazine. They have like 8 sister publications throughout South Florida, down in Parkland, over in Coral Springs, you name it, throughout South Florida. It's a pretty cool article. It's posted on our Top Gun Options Facebook page if you want to check it out. And I'm like I said, honored and humbled, and talk about some of my experiences, what brought me to my present place here as CEO of TGO, and why I have those experience lines on my face there, so to speak. So check that out on the TGO Facebook page. Okay, so obviously the Netanyahu speech the other day was, as I briefed, it was the one person. It was the Donald Trump. He's been working behind the scenes, letting everybody know that obviously not only did Iran, or is Iran lying to our face, but Barack Hussein Obama did as well. John Kerry, that entire Obama clown car, completely lied about the Iranian nuclear deal, and this thing is going to get ugly. So Iran's working pretty hard to keep Europe on board. And why am I talking about this, folks? We have 10 days, which seems like a lifetime, but it's going to go quick, until Donald Trump has to certify that we believe they're in compliance. Rex Tillerson is no longer the Secretary of State because he believed these disgusting people, the Iranian leadership. The Iranian people are proud people, phenomenal. They don't like who's leading them either, folks. So I didn't mean it as that. These people are nuts at the top of the ship there. So Macron came over here and kind of lectured us in front of our House and Congress, kind of like Obama did. Remember when Obama flew over to England before the Brexit vote and said, "Hey, man, you better vote to stay, because I don't have time, on my calendar here to fit a trade deal in with just you guys." That's one of the reasons the Brexit passed, is because Brits don't like foreign leaders, especially Barack Hussein Obama, coming and onto their soil and kind of poking them in the chest. I didn't like this. I don't need some smarmy Frenchman to come over here and poke us in the chest about Iran. But he did ask Trump, he's like, instead of leaving it, why don't we, say they're in compliance, but have some work to do. There's going to be some volatility increasing over the next couple weeks around this nuke deal if we back out. And the headline I briefed you on yesterday was Israel preparing for war and giving the U.S. a heads up. They've been flying their joint strike fighters that we gave them, their Wonder Woman jets, over Iranian airspace, and they cannot be seen. Israel is not going to let Iran complete their nuclear weapons development. Why? Because they threatened to use it. And unlike Karima, some young guy in North Korea who just wants to live and stay in power a little bit, these dudes don't mind dying. When you don't negotiate, or you can't negotiate with people that don't mind dying, it's very, very tough. And once you say, hey, we should sit down and talk and negotiate, guess what? In their mind, you've already lost. Trust me, folks, I've been to the Middle East a hell of a lot more than most of the people listening to my voice right now. Trust me. So this is about to get ugly. Just because the market doesn't care about it right now doesn't mean it's not going to happen, or it shouldn't be caring. And we're going to talk about how ugly this chart of the S&P 500 is looking, and why we're bearish and long volatility. And we're actually going to get bearish on the market today in our accelerated retirement brief at 1 o'clock. This is also bringing heightened tensions. Whenever you see the word heightened tensions, it means what? Get long volatility. Look at this. We have a one-day trade in our weekly options program that we closed for about a $2,800 gain since Monday. We closed it, looked to close it yesterday for 55% gain in one day, being long volatility. So we're going to get short the market today, and also long volatility, because not only do we have world stage issues, but we have this trade agenda, and it's a self-imposed deadlines, right? The president shot a couple, big salvos across the bow of China and some other folks that are screwing us in this whole trade issue, and those self-imposed deadlines are coming up. But if you look at the word self-imposed, that means what? You can move those deadlines, right? They're not hard and fast. So some of them got delayed yesterday, and the market breathed a little bit of a sigh of relief. But remember, in the not-so-distant past, these massive swings were potential trade war. No, Larry Kudlow saying everything's fine. Potential trade war, and we implode. So, again, just because the market's not super caring of it right now doesn't mean you don't wake up tomorrow and the Dow's down 1,000 points on, quote, renewed trade war fears, right? So stocks are a little soft right now. Dow's down 50. We have a Fed meeting today, or at least what they're going to talk about. Apple earnings, we'll talk about in a couple minutes as well. But look at this, folks. Major average bounces getting weaker and weaker and a big market technician said, hey, there's major carnage coming. I've predicted this, guys. Right? After this last implosion with the Mark Zuckerberg's a robot and stealing all your data and renewed trade war fears, as we bounced around this 200-day moving average, I said, we're going to hold it. And then we had what I called a blue collar climb off the 200-day moving average. What do I mean by blue collar? This was a 9 to 5. This was a hard work. I don't even call it rally. I mean, that's a rip your face off rally, right? In January. This was trudging higher with, just put Q1 earnings up here as like the North Star, right? We kind of were, Q1 earnings are going to save us. And about halfway up this trudging higher, I said, nope. They aren't going to save us, and it's time to get long vol and get ready to roll over. We went through the 50-day moving average, and then on Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley blowout earnings, the market yawned. And I said, uh-oh, look out below. I said, we're going to go test the 200-day moving average, and now I'm telling you, look at this. So if this is a blue-collar rally, what's this was last week, people going, Wiz, your Facebook earnings were blowout, and they're going to save the world in this rally. And I said, sold. I will take the other side of that trade 6 days a week and twice on Sunday. And what happened? It failed this week. So if you're watching this video and you're one of those folks, how's your Facebook trade looking? This is a short squeeze, and it's going lower. Watch. That little speech he gave yesterday was embarrassing as well. And he is going to get dragged in front of Parliament. So, and actually, let's talk about this. So, as we talked about, new worry for stock investors are corporate earnings peaking and stocks have an earnings problem. If these blowout earnings aren't enough to get this market to restart like we were back here, we're screwed and we're heading lower. Cowardly. A member of Parliament called Zuckerberg a coward. Right? Zuckerberg faces, they asked him nicely about a month ago, hey, why don't you, come by Parliament and talk to us about what Facebook's doing? He said, no, I'm good. I'm going to go talk, in front of the House and the Senate. They asked nicely. Now they're not going to. So, folks, when you see this robot dragged in front of the House of Parliament, Germany has some of the strictest privacy laws on the face of this planet. Remember the German co-pilot who was mental, and when the captain went to go to the bathroom like a year or two ago, he flew him into everybody in the side of a mountain and killed him. All of his doctors said the dude shouldn't even be allowed in an airplane, let alone pilot one. They weren't allowed to tell anybody because their privacy laws could throw them in jail. This dude's in a lot of trouble, so now he's a coward. So we are shorting Facebook. There is nothing bullish in that at all. Facebook stumbled yesterday after announcing a clear history, right? And feature. Hey, I could delete everything. Developers are angry. If you believe Mark Zuckerberg, I got a bridge to sell you. Buried in their earnings report was a warning that said, you know what, there's probably a hell of a lot more Cambridge Analyticas out there. If you're going to buy a stock with all this warts, you're an idiot. Okay, like I've said a million times, the only way this stock goes higher is when, listen to my words, when, not if, this dude resigns. He has got to resign for this stock to go higher. And here's your laugh of the day. David Einhorn at Greenlight Capital loses another 1.1% in April. He's down 15% year to date, folks. We are up nearly triple digits on average return on risk in our portfolios. So do not think that the smart money is smart money, folks. These are the same people that predicted Hillary was going to win, and if Trump won, the market and the economy would implode. Wrong. I was one of the few, along with Jeffrey Gundlach, who said not only does Trump win, the market's going to have a rip-your-face-off rally. We had an epic 2017. So we're having a blast here, folks. I'm having a great time. I'll see many of you in our accelerated retirement session at 1 o'clock. If you're not in that service, you got to give us a call, or simply just go to our homepage. That's the easiest thing to do, and sign up for a 2-week test flight for the price of a bottle of Pinot Grigio or Pinot Noir. You can take a test flight. If you want to join us for Accelerated Retirement today, it's $14 for a 2-week test flight. Just click on the beginner one. If you like trading weekly options and potentially making $2,800 in a day like we did on $5,000 in risk, you click on advanced. If you're kind of middle of the road, I kind of know what options are, but kind of need a little instruction, you click on intermediate. Okay, $14, $28, $38. If that's a problem, you shouldn't be trading options. Okay, I got to run. Got a big day ahead of me. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless. I'll see you for tomorrow's market SITREP on Thursday.